Well, we're walking along the canal, but I'm actually on my way to the river today. But the easiest way to get there at the moment, because the field's so overgrown, is along the towpath and then cut through the hedge. So the canal looks very chocolate. There's obviously a lot of boats going up and down. Had a little bit of rain colouring it up as well. So there might be a little bit of pace on the river. But we're going to go on the River Cherwell, my local River Cherwell. I'm going to fish for 2 hours, that's it, because I've got to pick my daughter up from nursery. Don't want to get on the river. This is my first river session of the season. So it's a bit of a roving approach. I've just got a rod and a reel and a landing net handle. Haven't even brought a keep net and a rucksack and a stool. And I've got a couple of pints of casters and a tin of hemp. And that's all we've got. We're only, I don't know, 500 metres further up and we'll be chucked through the hedge and be fishing in no time. As we plough through the long grass, here we are at the river. Oh, someone's been fishing. That's definitely where someone's been fishing, isn't it? We could fish there. There we are, river looks a bit coloured. We've got a swim there, and we'll see if we can catch. Just going to run a stick float down the middle and see what we can catch. I've got my retractable fold up landing net, which is a bit old fashioned, but easier to carry than my Matrix one for a roving session. Got an unlocking mat, no keep net. I might bring a keep net next time if it's any good. So there we are, a couple of pints of casters and a tin of hemp. I'm going to crack that open and then we'll set up. We'll start feeding now, because like I say, that's not bad size hemp. A lot of hemp's gone really small, but that's actually a good size, isn't it? Yeah. First time I've cracked open this sonar bait stuff. It's a nice size. Try and fish as far as I can throw. That'll do for starters. Might have to catty a bit in a bit, but that's it. And I've got 15-foot cadence rod. Matrix don't do a 15-foot rod, and it could be quite deep, some of these pegs, so it's what I've got made up from the winter, what I was bollo fishing with. So same rod. Let's find a stick float. I just quickly, again, I couldn't find all my stick floats, so we'll have a look and see what we got. We've got some old Jon Arthur ones there. Woody's ones. We use a Jon Arthur. There's a lot of people will know who that guy is. Absolute river legend. Not too bad on the commercials either. Which is, I think, pretty much all he fishes now. But made his name as a stick float angler on the Trent and the Derwent and places like that. I've got some scissors. Let's hastily make up a stick float rig with my bag of bits. Right, so we've got a Jon Arthur 5 number 4 stick float, which should take 10 number 6s or 20 number 8s if it's right. And I've only got number 8s, Balabini number 8s, so we'll quickly whack some number 8s on. One. And I like to put them on the line and then move them up. So excuse the aeroplane. But we'll put about 16 on to begin with. And I suppose I should be fast forwarding this bit. Now always squeeze them on, move them up, and then chop the damaged bit of line where you've squeezed them on. And then they're good to go. Do it on a tight line. Loads of people seem to struggle, especially with round shot, but if you do it this way, line it up on the slit, trap it underneath your finger, pliers, on, up. Easy. Obviously you could do this at home, but I'm just doing it on the bank. It was a spur of the moment decision to go stick float fishing today, but I got so much work done, I thought I'd treat myself. Still got a load of admin to do, but I must say I'm getting ridiculous amounts of messages now, and it is hard to message everyone back without a PA or a secretary. So apologies if I am not getting back in touch with people. It will take several days, I'm afraid. But I've got to have a life, and I've got to do some work. I'm not just directory services. Ask a free question. But it's nice to be asked, but I haven't always got time to answer everyone as much as I'd like. So there we are, we'll just see what that's like. Probably sink it out of sight. Yeah, that's fine. So that doesn't take as much shot as I thought, or as it should. It didn't make them like that anymore, do they? So I'm going to put a 7 number 4 stick float on, same one, Jon Arthur, and just see what that takes. Well, that only just takes that amount of shots, so that's perfect. Right, so what I've done, I put on a slightly bigger stick float now, 7 number 4, and this one takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 number 8s. Have a look. Yeah, 15 number 8s. Should be about right for just reaching the distance and give me a bit of control. If it's too light, I won't be able to mend line without moving the float. I'll have a bulk and 3 droppers. Carefully move one by one without burning my fingers. There we are. So we're going to have an 8, an 8, another 8, another 8. So we've got 4 droppers really. Okay, and then we're going to put a hook length on. Something strong, probably 014, 012, something like that. I don't want to fish light. See what we can get away with. Don't want to hook a big fish and lose it. I'm just going to have a quick light plumb just upstream of where I'm fishing, so hopefully I'm not going to disturb any fish where I'm feeding. Just to get a rough gauge so I'm close to the depth. I'm just want to drag bottom really. Let's just drop it down here first and just see. Tell you what, that's exact depth there. So I imagine it's just a fraction deeper. If I just plop it. That was a good depth, wasn't it? Good guess, wasn't it? Yeah, so it's just another 6 inch deeper than what I got it set. Not a bad guess at all, was it? So let's quickly pull this up. Another 8 inches, say. So we're just hopefully just dragging bottom. Wrap around my camera now. How have I done that? Couldn't do that again if I tried. How has that happened? Whose idea is to wear a chest cam? Oh, that's right, no knots. So there we are. We'll feed one more time. Bit of hemp just fractionally further downstream. Maybe in the right spot. And take it from there. We can catapult if we want, but let's put that in the tub so I don't lose it. Got a disgorger on me hat already. Wishful thinking, hopefully. Unravel that. Lovely. And I haven't got any maggots or anything. What we'll do, we'll put this on our right now. And the hemp. Put the hemp and caster to the right. And I'll feed from that side. Single caster. So what I've got is 16 to 013. Just an old hook length basically that I've got. It's alright, that went in okay. It's not going to go through too much. I'm not even going to leave the bail arm out just to begin with. It's very slow. Could fish the pole here today, no problem. I'm just going to run it down like this, just for a metre or two. Not even going to disengage the bail arm yet. Shouldn't have to run it too far downstream. Right, now we can. We get a bite. The old plane above. Just mend the line. Because it's quite sluggish, we could probably fish quite over depth and really hold back and trundle it through, which might be better. Not sure if that was a bite or not. Just dragging. Find a nice big caster. Looking a bit like a maggot. Sort of, that's quite a deep. What's going on here with this reel? That's it. Lovely. Perfect. We'll feed. A little bit of hemp again. A little bit of cast out. And we'll trundle it down. A bit of a downstream wind. Very sluggish flow. Just enough to pull a stick float down though. We can mess around with the shotting, we can spread it out. Just a bulk and 3 droppers to begin with will get it down. I'm not expecting to catch off the bottom or anything, but you never know. If it was a proper river session, you could have a couple of different rigs, a shallow rig and even a little waggler rig for chucking over there to them bushes. Could come with a little waggler next time actually and chuck it under that tree. That's about as far as I want to go there for now. Let's run it a bit further. Yeah, it's just dragging there. No bait on. Oh, it's well. Tell you what, that might have been smashed. Looking at that, let's hook it in the tip and push it round. Might be a load of bleak. Let's watch that float now as it goes. It's going to take 3 or 4 casts to get it right, I think. Fishing casters are a little bit more selective than if I've bought maggots. I ain't got any maggots. I do like fishing casters on the river. I like fishing casters everywhere. No, just dragging again. And the caster's gone again. Maybe I'm striking it off. Maybe it's a fish. Right, I'm going to hold it like that. I'm just going to feed and just hold it and just hold it and hold it and hold it and hold it. Just on the far edge of the feed now. Just going to try and hold it. I'll really edge it to see if we get any. Oh, that was a bite. Yeah. Oh, what we got? Roach. Nice. See, and that's what happened. I just hold it, and it was obviously something to take it on the drop. Oh, should have had a look at that properly, shouldn't we? But anyway, we've had a roach. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm feeding quite aggressively because I haven't got long and I wouldn't mind getting some big fish in the peg pretty quick. Not been touched again. That was a bite. Oh, that's a definite bite. Yeah, nick my caster. Put that one for the point this time. Do mix it up. There's a quarry the other side of those trees, so it does get a bit noisy, and an airport and all sorts, so as nice as it is to be out in the countryside, there will be a bit of background noise as well. And we might even see Mr. Otter, unfortunately. I've seen him several times on this river. And he's quite noisy, that otter, as well. The stick's probably dotted down just a touch more. I could probably take another number 8 off. So it'll drag through a bit nicer. Let's do that. Let's take another number 8 off. I don't want to get any false bites. To take an 8 off, I just get my pliers, squeeze one half, and there it is, it's off. Easy as that. So now we can trundle, and the float won't give us a false reading now. A couple of bites weren't bites, I'm sure it was just it dragging, but it takes a little while to read what's going on, read how your float's behaving. That wasn't the intended species. That was not what I was expecting. A very young looking 2-pound bream. I was not expecting that. That's my second fish on the stick float. Oh look, he's pooped out some sweet corn. Look. So someone's been specimen fishing here for them. There we are. Second fish of the river season. A nice bream on the stick float. Immaculate, isn't he? Pop him back. No, I shouldn't be putting him back in the swim, but never mind. Lovely. That's a slimy old critter. Let's put 2 casters on now. See if we can't catch another one. I was right at the top of the peg. Let's feed a few more. And obviously I've put him back in front of me, which isn't ideal, but I don't mind. It's not important today. A bit of a loop of line there. Just get that out of the peg and just hold it. I'm just going to hold it there now. That's where I've had my roach and my bream. Just holding it, holding it, holding it. I'm not letting it run down. I'm just sort of probably inching it through. So I haven't even opened my bail arm to do this. Just letting it trundle and trundle and trundle over where them casters go. Dropping rod tip now because the wind's suddenly... Oh, there we are. Oh, that was a bite. I was dropping a rod tip because the wind suddenly picked it up. But that was a bite. A double caster. I've been told there's some really big bream in here. Oh look, there's a snail. Try that on the hook. Where's that come from? Let's try 2 casters again. It's a definite bite that, but the wind just caught it at an inopportune time. I'll come back here, we're keeping it out of my pole I think. Right, let's engage that. Just hold it there now. So we're just above where we're feeding. There we are. Ooh, that's shot under. Double caster, not marked. Suddenly feels like there's some fish there. Shame I'm going to have to go. I've still got time. It's not 3 o'clock yet. I'm not overly happy with what's happening at the moment, so I'm going to spread this out a bit more. See if we can catch the flow a bit better. Not convinced we're catching the flow well enough. I think we're just getting the surface tow as opposed to the actual natural tow of the river. So let's just spread this out a little bit more. and also just pull the float down just a fraction. It's just about juggling the depths really. That looks much nicer to me. I definitely think we'd have caught a few more roach if we'd have scaled down, but that wasn't the purpose today. There we are. What have we got there? Is that bleak or a dace? It's a big old bleak, massive bleak, isn't it? Herring. Wow, that's the biggest bleak I've ever caught. Bear in mind I don't fish the River Wye in places. Hell of a bleak. 3 species. If there's bleak that size about, then they'll definitely be snaffling those casters on the way down. Might be what some of those phantom bites are. Right, I've bulked it down again now. Just juggled things about a little bit. I've just replumbed the depth just to make sure I was at the right depth, and I'm definitely tripping bottom now. It's closer to 10 foot today, this peg. It's just dragging. I think these fish are on the bottom, the ones that we're trying to catch anyway. Obviously I've caught a bleak probably 3 foot off the deck, and that was a great big bleak. But these fish we want are going to be on the bottom. So they fall nicely. All my bites have had like within a 2 or 3 metre trot. Oh no, I had a couple of bites at the bottom, but I'm sure they would have been bleak as well. In the winter, all my bites have been right at the bottom of the peg where the chub are, but obviously that's a clear winter river, so a bit different to this summer river that's got a bit of colour in. So we're 40 minutes in. I've had a little roach, a nice 2 pound very young looking bream, and a great big bleak, but just an odd little bite, that's it. So we should be getting some bites now. I've been feeding it long enough. I've tried double caster for a bit just to see if I can catch another bream or chub or something big in the peg, but nothing. So I'm going to stick to single caster for a little bit, and I probably should scale down soon just to see. Put an 0.10 hook length on and just see if that makes a difference for a little bit. You always go back if we hook a big chub and it does me. We're only running it down the middle of the river. I imagine the chub are all under the bushes and everything, but with a bit of caster going in, they might come down the middle where we're feeding. We don't get a lot of pressure here, certainly from this style of fishing. Right, I'm just putting on a 10-inch hook length, which is a 16 black nickel to 0.10. Much finer setup now. Oh, still bust that caster. Let's see if that makes a difference. Right, single caster on a lighter setup now. If we don't get bites on this straight away, or quick, then we'll quickly revert back to the heavier hook length. We'll know it's not the finesse of my tackle that's the problem. And the old red kite then. Oh yeah, soaring above. Crows bothering it. There we are, that was a bite. Too busy watching the red kites. Oh, there's 2 of them. Nick the caster. You can hear him. Wow! Love the sound of a red kite. So that was definite bite anyway. Definite response after changing to a lighter hook length. Oh, ding, 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 ding. There we are. Oh, yes. What have we got here? chub or a bream on the 010 hook length. Say it's a bream or a hybrid. No, oh, is it a roach? Is that a roach? That looks like a roach. Oh my god, that's a huge roach. Or is it a hybrid? It's a roach or a hybrid? Hybrid. I thought it was a roach. God, that would have been a month. Big hybrid. Thought it was a roach for a bit. Big hybrid on the light gear. Only just hooked. Would I have caught it on the heavy gear? We'll never know, will we? Let's have a look at that. It's more bream than roach, but that's definitely a hybrid. You can see the red fins. A lovely fish. Should be putting him upstream or downstream, but don't matter. You don't mind not getting many bites when they're that size of fish, do you? I reckon with those sort of fish, if we'd have just ledgered today, just a little feeder or a link, we'd have caught some more perhaps. But it's nice to just watch a float, isn't it? Give me float fishing any day. Quick banana. A few more casters. Alright, we've got time for 5 or 6 more casts, and that'll do. We'll have a short one then. Hardly fed any of this bait really. Might have got for a pint if we're lucky. Right, that's it. That is it. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that as much as I did. The River Cherwell was its usual moody and mysterious self. Always gives me lots of questions and full of mystery, that place really is. And but yeah, don't think it was full of fish in front of me, but there was certainly some quality fish, and I definitely left some in there, didn't I? So I'm going to come back with a keep net next time, probably with my pole, bit of chop worm, caster and ground bait, and see what we can catch. Maybe early morning or an evening session, but yeah, it's definitely worth a few hours, isn't it, to see what else we can catch from the mysterious River Cherwell. My nemesis of a river. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on another fishing session, hopefully on the river.